Hallo, guten Tag. Hier Borderside Wrestling aus Mexiko, Ciudad Juárez, Arena Calaca. Ich habe heute die ganz große Ehre, mit einem Superstar zusammen zu sein, but I will go on speaking in English. I have the great pleasure to have a real star here with us at Borderside Wrestling. It's Sin Cara, Mistico, Unico, Incognito, and today he's wrestling as Cinta de Oro, and he's here with us.
Yes, I'm very happy to be here with you. The first part where you said it, I didn't really understand much because I don't know any German, but I'm very excited to be here with you. And let's talk about wrestling. Whatever you want to talk about, whatever you want to know about me, I'm all for it. So I've had the pleasure of wrestling in Germany many times, and it's a great country. They always treated me with a lot of respect. So I'm very excited that the fans in Germany get to see this, and now through this program. So let's talk about whatever you want.
Great. So we will just start to speak German. I prepared a sentence for you, if you can read it to us.
Oh, let's show it first. Wrestling first, unseer. Oh, it's in German, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. So you want me to try to pronounce it?
Go ahead.
Wrestling is unsere Leidenschaft.
Genau, Wrestling ist unsere Leidenschaft. Wrestling is our passion.
Oh, wrestling is our passion. Well, it's a lot easier if you say it that way. That's pretty cool. There it is. I tried.
Cool. Well, yeah, you know people in Germany, you know wrestling in Germany, and you have wrestled 10 years in WWE. Yes. We can't speak 10 hours, so just tell me 10 words that come to your mind thinking about this time, 10 years in WWE.
Well, it was a great time, amazing experience, visited many countries, learned a lot, made a lot of friends. But I think the most important thing for me was to be able to be with our fans, the people that really love wrestling, and being able to, showcase my talent in front of all those people that I never had, and when I was a little kid, the opportunity to ever think that I would go to wrestle in Germany. So it's been amazing. I think it was more than 10 words, but
but very precise. And I think you're one of the very few Mexican wrestlers who made it to WWE. And I don't know if I'm wrong, but I think a lot of them has been from border towns. So what is the special essence of wrestling, lucha libre mix you find at the border cities? How do you describe it?
I've never really analyzed that like you have, but I think it's because we know Spanish and English. I think it's very important that you go to a certain country and you learn the language. Sometimes we tend to take it for granted, right? Like me, I grew up in Ciudad Juárez, El Paso. Everybody would speak Spanish, so English was for me was like, I don't really need to speak English. But then as I got older, I realized that the world moves with one language, which is English. And I was blessed enough to be able to learn it. And when I got to college, that's when I really had to speak it, because I was like only 2 Latinos in my college, so I was able to practice more, be able to learn more, and then it really helped me when I got to WWE because nobody really spoke Spanish. It's only a very small percentage of people that really talk Spanish, and for me it was an awesome experience. Obviously it wasn't easy in the beginning because I had to learn the language of wrestling in English. For me, I would know it in Spanish, but I remember that I used to go to FCW back in the day, and with Black Magic, Norman Smiley, we would write down like the moves, headlock, cantaba el cuello, like certain things, and I would go home and I would study them. I would learn them to be able to communicate, the language of wrestling in English. So it was pretty. I think it's one of those things that really helps us as kids growing up in the border, being able to speak 2 languages, and maybe that's one of the things that really helps us to achieve that goal and to work for WWE.
Mm-hmm. And speaking about different styles in Mexico and the USA, what do you like in the US? What do you like in Mexico?
Well, about if we're gonna say American wrestling or the way psychology-wise, the way a match is done, the way a match tells a story. It's not about just the moves, it's about telling a story in the ring. It's like a movie. When you go watch a movie, you want to be able to have the beginning, the middle, and then the end. And wrestling is like that. A match should be like that. In the beginning, you got to establish who's the baby face, who's the heel, being able to tell the story inside the ring so that the people that are watching, you get their attention. And obviously, the finish or the climax of a match should be something special for them. And I think that's the thing that I really learned about wrestling when I was in my time in FCW and WWE. Because sometimes, unfortunately, in Mexico, there's amazing talent, but a lot of it is just a lot of moves, and I'm pretty sure there's many guys that can do a lot more things that I can do, but the difference between me and them is to be able to tell a story inside the ring, and that's what catches people's attention.
And what's the special thing about Mexican wrestling?
Well, obviously, the culture that comes behind wrestling, which is La Máscara, which is the outfits, the capes, the glamour, everything that comes with it. I think that's something that, you know, that identifies us as a culture. Like whenever I go to some place, even if they don't know who I am, they understand that I'm Mexican because of the mask. So I think that's something that has transcended boundaries, transcended cultures everywhere we go. I think that's something that really people get to attach into wrestling, which is La Máscara, la lucha libre.
Yeah. And well, you left WWE, stepped out, took one of the big names from this border town, Ciudad Juárez, Cinta de Oro, and you got to the independency. But in very difficult times, no? There were pandemic times coming, COVID. I think everybody in the world was like, whoa, and now? How have you lived this time?
Well, obviously it was a gamble. Like being able to, you know, take a decision, probably one of the hardest decisions in my life, like being in WWE for 10 years, working there, traveling the world, making a lot of friends, doing a lot of things that, you know, I never thought that I would. Obviously, it was a gamble for me being able to tell me, you know what, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm done with it. Let me go. Give me my release. I didn't get fired. I was the one that, you know, took a decision, and I knew it was a gamble, but I never thought how big of a gamble it was. But I realized through all this time that, you know, I'm stronger than I ever thought I would be. I've learned a lot about myself, about my kids, about the people that really love me. Once you're out of that spotlight, you know, behind the big machine WWE, you understand who really are your friends. Because when I used to, you know, wrestle for them, obviously being in the spotlight all the time and having that behind you, you would make a lot of friends. A lot of people would, you know, talk to you or this and that because who I was working with and who I was. But then I understood that, you know, times were not easy for none of us. But I learned a lot, and for me, I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change anything that I've, you know, none of my decisions, because I'm happier now than ever before, and I think it's a different time in my life. I'm more mature. I have 2 kids that I love very much, and that I'm there for them, and that's the most important thing for me now, being able to provide for them, being able to be there for them. But at the same time, I've learned that my job, you know, has given me a lifestyle, and has given me great things, and I also, you know, understood that no matter what happens in your life, there's always a plan. God has a plan for me, and the most important thing is that I've learned that there's life after WWE, because there's a lot of people that, you know, they don't want to gamble, that they're afraid of like going out there in the independent scene again. But things are starting to pick up again. I'm starting to do a lot more shows. I'll be coming up with an action figure. We have many projects coming in the way, so I'm excited about that. And like
that's just my next question. What are your goals for 2022?
Well, the goals is to keep defending this title that I have, keep being a champion, but also wrestle with, you know, a lot of the independent workers and a lot of the guys that I haven't had the opportunity to wrestle with. That's my main focus, being able to wrestle, showcase my talent, letting people know of, you know, of what I can do in the ring, because I had a lot of limitations in WWE. They would tell me, no, don't do this, don't do that. Now there's no limitations. Nobody can tell me what to do. Freedom doesn't have a price. And I think that's the best thing for me. I can do whatever I want now. If I want to wrestle here, if I want to wrestle there, if I don't want to wrestle, then I don't wrestle. The dates and everything, and I think money can't buy that. Money is something that freedom can buy, you know, it can be bought. So for me, I'm just excited about the future. Like I was saying before, coming out with an action figure, we're coming out with a book, we have other projects in line. So I think it's a great time for me and for wrestling.
Cool. That were great words, and I just come to my ultimate question, to my last question, and I think we take off cameras here because this question is just for me. No, just kidding. For all of you, I'll share it to you. No. I just want to know, what can you tell us, the small, mortal, average little wrestlers? How do you get to the top? What are the special ingredients? What's the mix of ingredients you really get where you want to go? I
think, I mean, we're all the same. I've always said this, like, no matter where you come from and what you do. I think we all have that opportunity. It's just a matter of who really wants it, in a sense. And obviously there's a lot of things that have to come into place to be able to, get to the top or whatever you're gonna accomplish. But at the end of the day, there's no other ingredient but passion and hard work. I know there's a lot of people that it's like a cliche that everybody says it, but it's true. Hard work, having a passion, being able to never give up is one of those things those are the ingredients that never go away if you really want to succeed in your life and whatever you want to do. And maybe your goal is maybe it's just to win a title in Juarez or in El Paso or wrestle here, wrestle there. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, if you feel you accomplish everything in that sense, that's your dream for you. It doesn't have to be wrestling for the biggest company in the world or traveling the world. People have different dreams, different aspirations. And I think at the end of the day, as long as you're happy with what you've accomplished, then you'll be able to be happy. And then the next step, what happens? Things fall into place slowly. So you got to understand the first thing that you got to do is make yourself happy, be happy, because then you're going to, let people know how you feel. And then I think that's something that people can really get attached to. And for me, that's always been my passion. No matter what I've been through in life, when I had problems, wrestling has been a medicine for me. When I've had certain things in my life, no matter what happens, I think wrestling it's like a medicine, something that keeps me going. And to this day, no matter what happened in the pandemic, I've understood that no matter, what I've done in my life, it's a new beginning, and wrestling has given me that. So I'm excited for the future.
Great, I like it. And so we are here in Calaca and we just turn cameras off, now it's true, and go to training.
See you
Thank
guys.
you so much.
My pleasure, thank you.
Vielen Dank.